After you've outlined one or more lesson titles, you can begin adding content to your course. So I'm here in the course editor, and you can see that I've already outlined some lessons for my course. So now I'm ready to begin adding content. So I'm going to click the Add Content button here for the first lesson. And next I'll choose whether I'd like it to be a lesson, a pre-made business content lesson, or a quiz. I'm going to select lesson, and I'm taken to a new blank lesson. Now, because this is a new blank lesson, the block shortcut bar right here is the first thing I see when I edit the lesson. Now in Rise, you're using blocks to create your custom lessons. To add common blocks to your lesson, you can use the block shortcut bar right here. Just click each of these icons. So I can add some list, maybe an image, and let's add a continue button down here. And you can see how quickly the lessons come together. Now, if you need a block type that isn't listed on the shortcut bar, just click the All Blocks button, and you'll open the blocks library where you'll find all of the block types. Just click each category, and you can view all of the available block types within that category. I'm going to go ahead and close out of the blocks library. And to add or edit your blocks with your own content, for example, the text, just select the text and begin typing directly in the block. And the changes are applied immediately. Now, if I change my mind about the block type I added, I can use the drop-down list over here in the top left to switch to a different block type from the same category. So you can see I could choose it just a heading, or maybe if I wanted to go with 2-column text, I could choose that, a different statement. I'm going to jump back to the paragraph with heading. This is really great, though, because it means I don't have to delete the block and then re-enter a new block each time I want to see how a block will look. To customize the block settings, such as padding and background color, click the Edit button up here. And you can see their Content tab shows the content for the text block. If I click the Settings tab right here, you can see you have default settings of 30 pixels for padding. That's top and bottom. You can override that for either or both. And then down below, you have the option for a background color for the block. So I can choose a color here, or I could add a specific hex value right here. And if I want to remove it, just click the clear button. I kind of like the gray, so I'll keep that. I'm close out of the settings by clicking the X. Now, editing the image block works the same. You can see I have my image right here, and if I wanted to preview a different block type from the image category, I can choose the drop-down list right here, and then choose a different setting. Just go through each of these. It's a great way to preview how the related blocks will look in your lesson. I'm going to go back up here to image centered. And to replace the default placeholder image, just click the Edit button, and you can see the thumbnail of the placeholder image here. Click Edit, and you can choose to replace the image with an image from your hard drive, or we could search Content Library for an image. Let's do that. Type in a search term and select an image, and that image will get updated here. You'll see the updated thumbnail as well as the updated image here in your lesson. Each block type will have its own settings. I'm going to click the Settings tab, and you can see that we have the same padding options and background color options as we did with the text block, but only this time we also have the option to allow learners to click the image to zoom in on the image. If I want to enable that, keep this selected, which it is by default, or click this to deselect it, and you won't be able to zoom in on the image. Okay, I'm going to close out of the settings here and scroll up a little. To add blocks between existing blocks, use the Insert Block icon that appears above or between existing blocks to open the block library. And here you can add another block type in between, right? So maybe we wanted to add another image or a statement between the two. And that adds the statement block between the text and list block. Now we can arrange the blocks by hovering over them, and then over here on the right, clicking the up or down arrows to reposition the blocks in our lesson. Just keep hovering over it. Click the down arrow to move that statement down below the image. To duplicate an existing block, just click this third icon right here, and that will duplicate the current block. And then, of course, you can make any changes to that new block. And finally, if you want to delete a block, just hover over the block and click the trash icon over here in the far right to remove it. You'll also see an undo option in the bottom left corner. You have the option to undo that if you wanted to bring that back or delete it again. And after a little bit, this is going to go away. Okay, that's how easy it is to begin adding block types to your Rise courses.